So it's been 1 week since we got the car, driven about 900 miles on it. Let's do a super cruise review. Right, here's one of my first few rides on the Chevy. I'm about to try the super cruise for the second time so I can get this recorded and show you guys how it's done and how convenient it is. So let's see how that goes. Alright, so I'm on the highway now and I'm about to turn on my super cruise. The way to turn this on is pretty easy. You just need to hit the cruise control on button, set your speed by pressing the set minus button, and once it's set, you see right there it says adaptive cruise control on. Now I just hit this button, which is the super cruise button, and there you go, my super cruise is turned on. The way I know is this green light. It also says that on the dash. And now what it will do is it will maintain the driver's speed as well as the distance from the car in front of you. It also does the lane drifts, like if you notice the lane's not straight and it's curving as per the bend of the lane. So yeah, no foot on the gas pedal, no hand on the wheel, and it's doing its own job, which is perfect. If you need to increase speed, you just have to do the reset plus button, basically scroll up, and I've set the speed to 75, following the driver in front of me by this distance. So yeah, that's pretty much it. As you can see, pretty user-friendly. The only thing I need to do is focus on straight on the road, because there's a camera right here, if you notice, which is actually seeing that I'm seeing the road. So yeah, you have to keep your eyes on the road. You have to basically not doing anything else. Just keep your eyes on the road. Don't need to touch the steering wheel. Don't need to have the foot on the pedal, on the gas pedal. Yeah, you should be good to go. If you see that car just turned its lane and my car slowed down because it could not maintain the amount of safe distance. So it does all these things on its own. Totally enjoying the self-driven super cruise mode on the Chevy Bolt EUV. All I have to do is keep my eyes on the road. There's a camera in the front on the driver's steering wheel. Monitors that. So if you take your eyes away, it starts to blink and gives you a few notifications, a few alerts before it actually turns off totally. That's a driver safety feature which I don't mind, because it keeps everyone on the road safe. But overall, I guess Super Cruise is a big lifesaver for long road trips or highway driving if you're doing that a lot, which I happen to do. So that's the reason I bought the Super Cruise enabled Chevy Bolt 2022 EUV. Autopilot mode, Chevrolet Bolt's Super Cruise, hands-free driving. It's doing its own turns, maintaining its own speed and distance. Very good. Alright, so we've had this car for 1 week now, about 900 miles driven on it. Let's test this Super Cruise out. So you turn on the adaptive cruise, hitting those two buttons, and then turn on Super Cruise using this button here. For Super Cruise to be on, you need to be in the center of the lane and on highways that are mapped. So now that I'm in the center of the lane, I do see the Super Cruise icon there, so I can turn it on. And right there, Super Cruise is turned on now. One thing that I've noticed is Super Cruise takes its own bends around the bend of the lane, which is good. It does not do lane shifts as of yet, but it's always good to have enough space on the left and the right side, so I keep it in the second from the left lane, so it can turn and we can have some wiggle room in case there are sharp bends and you're not that confident about the speed or the turn of the car, so you can manually take over. But other than that, it does a good job. One thing on Super Cruise though, if you notice, the energy really goes down because it does adaptive braking and tries to keep a distance maintained. Also because it's at high speeds, above 60, 65 most times, so you would see the battery being draining quicker than you would when you're manually driving, because it's not regenerative braking as much as it would when you're manually driving the car. Other than that, I think Super Cruise is really helpful. I've driven hands-free for about 400 of those 900 miles, and yeah, it is really helpful. It takes some time to get used to it, so I would recommend you take it for short rides before doing your long trips, and always drive on the second to left lane until you're confident about the system and how it works and how it turns. It takes some time to build that confidence. So yeah, there you can see the green light showing Super Cruise on. That's the green circle on the dash saying the Super Cruise on. And that's that camera that detects that your eyes are on the road. You can see it blinking when you're not paying attention to the road. That's indication that you should. After a few blinks, I think 3 or 4 intervals, it would beep red and blink red and basically alert you to manually take over. That it also does when it cannot detect the lanes, or it's too dark, or the conditions aren't too conducive for Super Cruise. It would detect and send you that alert to manually take over. One of the shortcomings is it gives you 1 second or 2 seconds to take over manually, which I think is a short period of time, but also a necessity for you to keep your eyes on the road, so you can always manually take over. But yeah, it's definitely very relaxing. You can always look on the sides of the road. You don't need to pay as much attention as you would when your hands are on the wheel, but yes, obviously you always need to focus on the road and the lane that you're in for traffic coming in and out. Overall, I think it is a very good feature, and I give it 5 stars. Yeah, so overall I think Super Cruise is a really cool feature. Once you've done lane shifting and you're centered in the right middle of the lane, it can take over again. And yeah, it takes some time to build confidence, so give it a shot on some short trips before you take it on your long road trips. And Super Cruise definitely drains the battery quicker than you would on manual driving. So those are a few observations that I have in this 1 week of owning this car. Thank you, and I hope you guys enjoy your cars with the Super Cruise as well. And I hope you like this review.